If you struggle to say no when you mean no, and often find yourself saying yes when you mean no, that's some indication that you may be experiencing what I call false guilt. And false guilt is a term that I pulled from some of Melody Beattie's writings on codependency. Feel free to seek out some of that information if you would like. So false guilt is experiencing guilt at an inappropriate or unhelpful time. The appropriate use of guilt is to be some indication of alignment with our moral standard. Like all of our emotions, guilt is intended to be a part of a guidance system that allows us to better care for ourselves, that should allow us to navigate the world in a way that will create greater satisfaction when functioning properly. So if one of these emotions is wired incorrectly, that can be a problem because it throws off the whole guidance system. It can throw everything out of whack. Guilt is a learned emotion, and that means it's not innately wired to be experienced at certain designated times. It's wired based on a moral code that we learn from the interactions with others around us in early childhood. So if in adulthood I experience guilt at times when I need to protect myself or otherwise meet my needs in some way, and that creates a barrier to meeting my own needs, that means that somewhere along the lines, I must have internalized caring for others above myself as a part of that moral code, which is a problem because that means that I won't be able to care for myself. And we have to care for ourselves first to be able to support and give to others. And if we are meeting our needs and caring for ourselves fully enough, then we have the overflow to be able to give to others. And that's when we give to others, is when we have overflow. Giving to others should not create a deficit within ourselves. When we aren't able to meet our own needs, quite often we're working out of a deficit. So we develop a lot of resentment and bitterness and other things like that that just don't feel really good in life and are problematic in relationships overall. So often people question why two seemingly opposite people, such as a very others-centered person and a very self-centered person, might come together in a relationship with one another. Because on the surface, it looks like they're opposites. But actually, under the surface, they're operating under that same moral code. Because the very others-centered person believes that other people's needs are more important than theirs. And on that same line of thinking, the self-centered person also believes that their needs are more important than the other person's. So really, both people share the same moral code that this person's needs are more important in the relationship. So that's how it works. So if one wants to change their relationship patterns and stop attracting or gravitating towards very self-centered or narcissistic type personalities, they have to change their underlying belief system and shift to allow themselves and their needs to have equal importance to others, and at times learn to be able to choose themselves over others. That's how we stop the pattern. Without making that shift, we will continue to gravitate towards people who also value their needs above ours over and over and over again.